The majority of men nowadays are skinny fat, and you're one of them. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the top 3 habits that are keeping you skinny fat. The number one thing that is keeping you skinny fat is not prioritizing sleep. Most people nowadays, they overlook the effects of sleep and how it affects your physique, especially young teenagers, because young teenagers are going to be the most rebellious people. They are going to be the ones that are like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay up late with my friends. I'm gonna go out and talk to these girls," or some bullshit like that. And I remember when I was in my teenage years, when I was like 16, 17 years old, I was staying up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sometimes even 3 a.m. just so that I could play video games with my friends because Fortnite was big at the time, and I was kind of goaded out Fortnite, so I had to stay up and stay on my grind. But what did that do to me? I ended up with a skinny fat physique by the time I was 18. By the time I was 18 years old, I had a horrible physique. I had little to no muscle, I had a very pudgy stomach, and I had wide feminine hips. And that's exactly what it means to be skinny fat. And the number one people that people overlook is not getting enough sleep. Your testosterone is produced mainly while you sleep, as well as a bunch of other hormones. So I have another video talking about net androgen status, which is a combination of all these different hormones that make up your net androgen status, like your free testosterone, DHT, luteinizing hormone, yeah, your total testosterone, bioavailable testosterone. All of that is mainly produced during REM sleep. So if you are not getting enough REM sleep, you are going to have low testosterone. You're going to have shit net androgen status, and you are going to look like shit because muscle is built when you have more testosterone. And of course, yeah, you can outwork having bad sleep. You can still build muscle, but it's not going to be optimal. You're going to have the best physique when you optimize your sleep. The next thing that is keeping you skinny fat is still following the 80-20 rule. Now, what is the 80-20 rule? This usually pertains to diet, but I believe it can also pertain to lifestyle as well. In simple terms, it's eating 80% of your diet of foods that are going to take you closer to your goals and 20% enjoyment foods. And what do most people do on this 80-20 rule? Most people are going to eat healthy foods for the 80% of it and then absolute bullshit for the 20%. That 20% usually consists of like alcohol, seed oils, sludge, processed foods, all this bullshit. That's what their 20% usually does. And most people can get away with this 80-20 rule if you're already at a pretty good physique level. Like you're already somewhat jacked and you're already somewhat shredded. You can kind of get away with this. You can kind of go out on weekends, go drink alcohol, and you'll be fine. Like I could probably go do this right now that I've actually built a pretty okay physique for myself. But back then, I was on this 80-20 rule as well when I was 18 years old, 18, 19, 20, 21. Up to those 4 years, I was actually following this 80-20 rule and I looked like shit the entire 4 years. And it's because I needed to fully cut out the stuff that was keeping me skinny fat in order to get me out of there. Think of it like you're in a jail cell, and every single time you do your 80%, you slowly climb out of this jail cell. But the moment you have some type of bullshit food from the 20%, it immediately brings you back down into the jail cell. That's exactly what happens when you're skinny fat. Because when you are skinny fat, you need to do everything in your power to get out of that jail cell as quick as possible, or else you are going to stay there for the rest of your life. I did not get out of that jail cell until I finally decided that I was going to 100% clean up my life. When I decided that I was going to eliminate all seed oils from my diet, and eliminate as many endocrine disruptors from my house and from my life in general as possible, and eliminate alcohol entirely. That is when I finally lost all the body fat on my body and got down to 10% body fat. And I dropped all the way from 215 pounds all the way down to 155. And right now I'm on a lean bulk, so I am about 158 pounds. So, and I'm still relatively lean. Like right now I am probably about 12% body fat, not 10% like I was, but still 12% because I'm lean bulking. I'm slowly going up in calories, and then once I pass maybe 13 or 14% body fat, then I'm going to drop back down all the way again. But as you can see, right now I probably have the leeway of cheating on my diet and eating some bullshit sludge. I'm not going to do it anyway because I'm still nowhere near my goals. I want to keep going. So when you are skinny fat, you have to remember 100% dial in your life. Stop cheating out. Stop saying, oh, just one drink, just one burger from McDonald's. No, it's going to keep you skinny fat. It's going to inflame you. You need to focus on eliminating all these things from your life so that you can finally climb out of that skinny fat jail cell. And the number three thing that I see people doing that is keeping them skinny fat is going to be not eating enough calories. Now you might be thinking, but I need to cut weight. I need to lose the fat around my stomach. I need to eat less calories. Well, sure, like you need to be in a calorie deficit. You need to calories in, calories out still applies. That is like the law that, matters probably the most in fitness. It's where you're getting the calories and how you're burning the calories that matters. So, like the last point, you can't be having food from the 20%. You can't be having alcohol. You can't be having processed sludge. You need to be eating only whole foods and stuff that is going to benefit your hormonal system, boost your testosterone. But the point I'm trying to make now is that you need to eat enough calories. Most people will be like, "Oh, my calorie maintenance is 2,000 calories. I need to eat 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories." This is also going to absolutely destroy your testosterone and your net androgen status, which is going to keep you skinny fat. Remember, in order to get out of the skinny fat jail, you need to have high testosterone. You have to. And sure, you could just blast TRT if you really want to, but my channel is all about doing this naturally. So how can you do this naturally? Because it's also shown that being in a calorie deficit does destroy your testosterone. How do you offset this? Because I was able to almost double my testosterone while in a calorie deficit. And you can too. The way that I did it was I offset all of the calories that I was eating with movement. Now, what do I mean by this? Oh, should I go running? Should I be running a 5K every single day? No, because that's a high cortisol activity. You want to be doing very low cortisol zone 1 cardio. And what's the perfect candidate for this? Walking. Walking does not require any fuel whatsoever. You do not need to have a pre-workout meal for walking. You do not need a post-workout meal for walking. It's literally free fat loss. Think of all the different cardios as requiring some form of energy. When you go for a jog, there's a certain cost to that because you stress out your body, you need to refuel your body to lower your stress again. For walking, it costs zero energy to walk. You can do 10,000 steps and that burns maybe 300 to 500 calories, and that's all just free calorie budget that you can add to your maintenance so that you can eat more food. I personally get 20,000 steps every single day because this burns about 1,000 calories for me, and I eat about 3,500 calories a day. And that is only a slight bulk for me. For most people, that would be like, oh my God, I'm going to gain 2 pounds a week. Well, it's because I move so much. And not only do I move just from doing steps, I also do MMA. I do Muay Thai, I do wrestling, I do jujitsu, and this adds more food to my calorie budget. And yeah, that might be higher cortisol activity. You don't have to do that, but I simply enjoy martial arts, so that's why I do that. If you just want to take the easy route, just get 10 to 20K steps every single day, add those calories to your calorie budget, and now you have more food to eat while you're in a deficit. And then you're going to lose that skinny fat physique quicker because you're going to be giving your body enough food to produce all the hormones it needs to boost your testosterone, keyword testosterone, and then you are going to finally get out of that skinny fat jail. Anyways, that's been the three things that's keeping people the most skinny fat. If you liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Is there something that I missed? Maybe one of the points that you disagree with? I would love to discuss in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.